Good morning to everyone. Let me talk for a few minutes in Spanish to the rest of the people. Buenos días a todos, a los que estáis presentes y a los que estáis a través de la pantalla. Soy Ana Alonso, CEO de Spain is Excellence. Bienvenidos. Como sabéis, en Spain is Excellence, en SIE, uno de nuestros objetivos es atraer a un cliente, a un visitante de lujo a España. Uno de los mercados que consideramos que es más atractivo para nosotros es el mercado chino, que ha abierto y que, aunque va, como comentábamos ahora fuera de cámara, aunque va todavía un poco lento por todos los trámites burocráticos, pero sí creemos que tiene un perfil de cliente de lujo muy interesante. Por lo tanto, vamos a empezar a hacer trabajos de formación y conjuntos y de consultoría para conseguir este objetivo que tenemos. Dejarme presentaros a mi compañero Antonio Teijeiro, que es especialista en el mercado chino. Llevamos ya bastantes meses trabajando él viene ya preparado, pero para preparar nuestro objetivo en todo esto, y la idea es poder ayudar tanto a nuestros socios como a las instituciones a poder atraer este tipo de cliente. Entonces yo hoy voy a aportar muy poquito, él es el experto, tenemos encima unos asistentes, unos ponentes súper potentes y nada, poco más. Thank you so much for coming. We are very excited about this webinar because all of you are very good experts of tourism, of luxury tourism. So thank you for coming. Por favor, Antonio.
Gracias, muchas gracias.
¿Te pongo presentación?
No.
Vale.
Vale. Thank you very much for assisting to this webinar, and everyone also thank you for assisting to the webinar, right? For those of you who are here in person, and for those of you who will be watching afterwards the video. Why did we think that it is important to actually see Chinese hotels? It's very simple. All of us want to bring Chinese luxury guests to Madrid or to Spain or to your hotels, to your shops, to your services. In order to attract, to make them have a great experience, and to make them come back to your hotel, shop, etc., there is one thing that you need to achieve, which is reach their expectations. Si vosotros queréis atraer a los clientes chinos, queremos atraerlos, que tengan una experiencia fantástica y queremos que vuelvan a nuestro hotel y lo recomienden, el mínimo que tenemos que hacer es llegar a lo que ellos consideran sus expectativas básicas. These basic expectations basically as, what do I have at home and that I also want in Spain? ¿No? Entonces esas expectativas básicas son lo que yo ya tengo en China. Pues, hombre, es lo mínimo que me vas a dar tú en España. O si no me lo das, me vas a tener que dar una experiencia tan distinta y tan especial y tan española que yo no tengo ningún problema en ese sentido, ¿no? So, the point of having this panel, these specialists, these speakers, is that you're all based, you have experience, you have hotels, you've designed hotels, or you've been in the country that so long that you are very well known in the country and the tourism industry. You are really specialists. I'm not a specialist. You are specialists, and you are running hotels. And that is why I think it's extremely important to have your point of view, and especially to be able to see what your hotels are. And this is just the start. It's only 10 minutes that you have each one of you, but because I wanted this to be an introduction. I would hope that in the future we have monologues for the professor, for Thomas, for Tang Lei, for Reno, and you can have a lot of contacts here in Spain and in Madrid. Entonces, estos son especialistas. El tema es que esta gente son el equivalente a ustedes, pero en China. Están haciendo hoteles, están diseñándolos, están abriéndolos, están haciendo el management de esos hoteles, están tratando de las quejas de los clientes, están tratando de los clientes también que son súper fieles y que les dicen estáis haciendo un trabajo fenomenal. Lo que nosotros les hemos pedido es que fuera una presentación de lo más visual posible, para realmente que vean cómo es un hotel en China. Una sola cosa, por mi experiencia en China, yo he trabajado 9 años. Un hotel de 5 estrellas o 4 estrellas en China es un hotel de muy elevado lujo, mucho más de lo que nosotros estamos acostumbrados. En Madrid, la verdad es que ahora Madrid se está poniendo las botas con todos los hoteles que ya están aquí, con los hoteles que están abriendo, es absolutamente fantástico. Pero yo he tenido experiencias de viajar a Estados Unidos, ir a hoteles que son de marca supuestamente de lujo, y me parecía un 3 estrellas, para ser sinceros. Y, oye, fantástica la hostelería americana, no hay nada en contra de la hostelería americana, pero es el caso. Y en China es muchísimo más el caso. Entonces yo espero que estas presentaciones os ayuden a entender qué es lo que busca el cliente chino para ustedes mismos poder establecer esas experiencias. So, very quickly, and I'm talking too much, but there's going to be 4 panelists. So I want to let me know who. Let me tell you who they are, and then they'll be talking. First of all, I have Professor Wolfgang Georg Arlt. So Professor is one of the greatest experts there is in China tourism, and he has been in China for a long time. He has incredible connections throughout this time. And actually, together we will be at Guangzhou International Travel Fair on the 19th of May, and we will be presenting a new project. I don't know if many of you have seen, Tour España has edited a guide now about Chinese tourists. And in that guide, there is a lot of references to a company called Cotri. Cotri is the brainchild of Professor Wolfgang. Okay, he's also he's CEO of Cotri, will become Cotmi. He's also the CEO for tourism, trying to make tourism a more sustainable activity. So this would be Professor Wolfgang. The second person that we would have also is Thomas Salg. Now, Thomas Salg is also a veteran of China, and he is presently the president of Wharf Hotels Incorporated. Wharf is one of the largest companies in Hong Kong. It's one of these traditional companies for a long time ago. Wharf is everything. If anyone has been in Hong Kong, you will see that there is some streets with a lot of shopping malls on the side of, not on Hong Kong side, but on the other side, where there's the boat from Victoria. Louis Vuitton, Cartier, all these shops. So that would be the company that Thomas works for. But he's in charge of the hotel division. He has 2 brands, Nicolo, Marco Polo. If you want to say anything else, Thomas, you could. It's up to you. Nicolo is a beautiful, beautiful luxury brand, and whenever Thomas will say it, but whatever Nicolo puts a hotel, they beat all other luxury brands. So very excited to have Thomas Salg here. Let me introduce also Tang Lei. So Tang Lei is a boutique designer. She is the co-founder of a luxury tented hotels, which is called Vine Tree. And she's also, as I said, she's designer. She has a lovely hotel in Kunming, a small boutique hotel in Kunming. So Tang Lei also has great experience, but in this sector, glamping, which is very important in China. You don't think of Chinese doing camping. Yes, they do, but with a different twist. Let me put it that way. Finally, we have Reno Lam. So Reno Lam is actually a designer and founder of RKL Collective, based in Hong Kong and New York, and he does designs. So basically, he designs hotels. So Profesor Wolfgang es una persona que lleva muchos años en China, más de 30 años, un grandísimo experto en hostelería china. Thomas Salg, que es el presidente de hoteles Wharf en Hong Kong. Tang Lei, que es fundadora de una cadena de glampings de lujo en una provincia que queda al lado de Vietnam y de Laos. Y finalmente Reno Lam, que es un diseñador de hoteles top en China y tiene su base en Hong Kong y en Nueva York. Professor, can I pass on the presentation to you? And
thank you very much. Yes. Okay, let me try. I hope that the technology will work.
Yes.
So you should see now my presentation, I hope.
Yes, we do.
Very good. So yes, first of all, also from my side, welcome everybody, and Antonio, thank you very much for inviting me to this distinguished panel. And I will try to be brief. It's always dangerous to ask a professor to be brief, but I will try my best. Of course, there's a lot to say about this topic, but so maybe let me start. Oops. Yes. Yeah. Just very briefly about myself. So, indeed, I've been traveling in China since 45 years, and have been working all my life in tourism, and especially with China. And as Antonio said, that during the pandemic also we moved a bit more into the sustainable tourism topic, and so we also started the Meaningful Tourism Center. And so, yes, of course, I have published a couple of publications, and there will be a new one coming out in a few months with Routledge called the Return of Chinese Outbound Tourism. So a brief look back. So Chinese outbound tourism is a rather new development. It started in the 80s, very limited, and only in 1997, so like 25 years ago, the Chinese government accepted that there is something like private leisure tourism, and they started regulations for that. And it took only 15 years for China to become the largest international tourism source market in the world by 2012. So as we say in China, everything happens later but faster. And in 2016, it was actually for the first time more than half of the by then 137 million border crossings from mainland China went beyond what is called Greater China, so Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan. So in 2019, Chinese outbound tourism, both in terms of spending and in terms of the number of trips, was bigger than number 2, number 3, USA and Germany combined. And we had the tendency that a lot of Chinese could travel to countries either visa-free, or they could get an e-visa or visa on arrival and so on. So unfortunately, Schengen area, so Europe being the only major exception where you could not get a leisure multiple entry visa or visa on arrival, that is still the case. So quick look at the numbers. You can see we started in 2001 with just 10 million trips, and in 2004, when I started COTRI, China Outbound Tourism Research Institute, it was still just 25 million, and people were laughing at me. Chinese tourists will never be important as a source market for us. Well, obviously it happened. And for us in Europe, the important point is that if you look at the colors, you can see that up to 2014, 2015, actually the growth was in the majority for trips going to Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan. But from 2015, 2016, you can see that the orange part gets bigger and bigger. So trips which went further became much more important. And so you can see that in 2019, we had more than half, like almost 60% of the trips going beyond. Then, of course, we see the sad development of the last 3 years. But our forecast for 2023, as China is back, or maybe even 110 million people traveling again in 2023. And by 2024, we will be back to where we were 2019 in number of trips. So when we look at Europe, we can see that, well, in Europe, we have been successful in getting more Chinese arrivals year by year up to 2019, but we have been losing market share. So this is all the long haul, so traveling beyond Northeast Asia, and you can see that the total has been growing much faster than what we saw for Europe. And you can see for Spain, Southern Europe, this is this small gray part, so the numbers are not very impressive. Saying that, I put here for Central Eastern Europe, including Russia, because according to the tourism economics, which are using UWTO systematic, Vladivostok is a part of Eastern Europe, so Russia is included. That's why these numbers are so big. But still, we can see we have been successful. Spain has been successful in moving up to 700,000 arrivals, but still we were not so growing so fast as the overall market. When we talk about luxury hotels, luxury travel, of course, it's very important to see who is traveling. And so about 10% of the Chinese have a passport. That's about the same as the number of people who have a private car, and only they have enough money to travel. And when we talk about luxury tourism, we talk about the top 1% of the Chinese population. So if you look at the numbers, so we have about 30 million people. That is 2%, with an annual income starting at $180,000. So so this is what we're talking about. So we have to be aware of the fact that in China, our customers are all people who are belonging to the top 1% of the society. So they are used to having a red carpet rolled out before them wherever they go. And also, when you look at the numbers and you think, well, how do 170 million trips happen when most of the people only earn less than $10,000 a year? The answer is in the box. So a lot of these outbound trips are paid not from the salary, from the income, but from the wealth. So in China, in the last 20 years, you didn't get rich by receiving a salary, but by starting a company or by speculating in real estate and in the stock market, because the prices until last year, the prices for real estate were going up and up and up. And also, if you had some friends and they could tell you something which part of the industry the government will support, so you could use some insider information to buy stock markets on time, which also means that yes, the rich Chinese people get rich not as fast as before, but still they have enough money in their pocket to spend $5,000 or whatever on a trip to Europe. So what we have seen already up to 2019 was that there is an increasing sophistication and segmentation. So everybody is saying the Chinese tourists want this. Do the Chinese tourists want to eat Chinese food or foreign food when they travel? The answer is always the same. It depends. Who are you talking about? So of course, we have now people who have been traveling to Europe for 10 years or 15 years. You have a lot of Chinese who have been students abroad. So of course, their knowledge and exposure to international culture is much different from people traveling for the first time. And so just one point to mention from what is listed here. One important problem is language barrier. So we had in the past, we did some research for Tour España, where the Chinese were saying, we have a language problem going to Spain because the people in Spain don't speak English. And if we speak English to them, they don't understand, or we don't understand the Spanish accent in English. So now you have these little machines, apps in the smartphone or some gadgets where you can speak into Chinese into the machine and it will speak Spanish or whatever other language you want with you. So the language problem, which was one reason why people were traveling in groups with a tour guide, is basically gone, and that's why now most people are not traveling in groups anymore. So during the pandemic, you can see the numbers here. We had in the first quarter still 40 million because people had started to travel in January already, and then it went down. And so we had about 2 million people traveling out of China, but almost all of them went to Macau. Macau was the only place where you could travel as a Chinese without going to quarantine in Macau or having to go to quarantine when you were coming back. So therefore, it is only from January 2023 that Chinese people really started to travel outbound again. What happened, and that is important for the hotel business, is that domestic tourism, especially in 2021, had the nice situation that the rich Chinese people had to stay in China, and therefore there was a lot of development of new offers and luxury offers. So Hainan has been, of course, thriving, and so that it is no longer seen as only for the poor or the uneducated to stay in China. So domestic tourism and domestic hotels have become a competitor. And I just took out one example. So this is a hotel in the desert in Ningxia. You can see on the map, it is quite far away from the East Coast. But it's a place I'm very sure you never heard about. It's called Zhongwei, but it has more than 1 million inhabitants. So and this is a place which was built especially for stargazing, because they have a very nice skies, and so they do a starry sky tourism conference there, and so you can see the price starts at around $320 per night. And it's all, of course, very, very nicely, exclusively built. So this is one example of many thematic hotels which were built in China in the last few years, and this is what people are expecting when they come to us. So where are we now? So I'm happy to say that last summer we forecasted and we started to write a book about post-COVID China outbound tourism. We forecasted by the beginning of 2023 China will open, and that actually happened on the 26th of December when Chinese government declared that this will happen. And we have seen that in the first quarter things have been moving very fast, especially for Southeast Asia. So we don't have that many leisure tourists arriving in Europe yet, because people first had to get a new passport. Many countries are still very slow on giving out visa, and the biggest problem is also that the airlines only now adding new routes and new capacity for air transport. So, but we will see. So next week we have the May holiday, the Golden Week in China. So I think we will also see from next week more Chinese outbound leisure tourists arriving, when already we saw, of course, business people, students, or family reunion trips. So and we still have the situation that Schengen is not giving out multiple entry visa, but we even have some countries like Serbia and Albania where Chinese can enter visa free. So so all these points which have been slowing down the restart have been more or less sorted out, or will be sorted out very soon. So there are lots of new routes from different European airports starting as of next month or so. And so therefore our forecast is that we will have in 2024 the same level than we have in 2019. However, these people are not the same anymore, and also all the what you can read from the people with the first experiences. So there was a nice article a few days ago in the South China Morning Post saying that, to the surprise of the Hong Kongers, the mainland Chinese tourists, when they come to Hong Kong, they don't do shopping. They go to visit the two famous new museums which have been built and opened in Hong Kong. One is a museum for contemporary art, and the other is showing pieces from the Forbidden City, from the National Palace Museum in Beijing. So this is a crowd puller and not the shopping malls. And I'm sure, well, we will hear more from Hong Kong in a minute from my colleague. So to give you an optimistic headline, China had sadly a shortage of coffins. Now what we see is a shortage of wedding dresses. So because in the last 3 years, a lot of people in China got married, but they didn't have the opportunity to have a big party, and they certainly didn't have the opportunity to go on their honeymoon trip. So we have 3 years honeymoon trips waiting, and Spain, for instance, is a destination which has been seeing a lot of honeymooners traveling for the nice photo opportunities in the past. And it's also the same for business trips. A lot of the business trips which are actually given as a bonus for being 25 years in the company or 25 years in the party, also in the last 3 years, they couldn't happen. And so therefore, there's a lot of pent up demand, which will now happen. And this will be happening in a much bigger way now for people traveling in smaller groups, in self-organized groups, or in groups where they use a tour operator, but they tell the tour operator what they want for their customized tour. And even if they have a tour guide, they will tell the tour guide what they want. It's not the tour guide pushing them around and pushing them into shopping where they get their commission. And the last point, when we talk about luxury tourism, we are more and more talking about best agers. So people 55 plus who have more time and are semi-retired and are very interesting customers because they will not just stay for one night. If you have a good offer, they might stay for much longer. So this is all I have in time to talk. So for more, please contact us. And also Antonio mentioned that I'm very happy that together with Antonio, we will start next month a new publication, which is called COTMI, China Outbound Tourism Market Intelligence. And the Spanish edition, so we will have a lot of languages at the same time. The Spanish edition is published by Antonio's company, and that will give you, of course, much more information in the future. So this is all from my side.
Thank you very much, Professor. That very interesting. Very difficult to stop you because the data is quite interesting. Para ponerlo en perspectiva, decía que el 1% de los chinos son los que pueden venir son los que ganan pues unos 165.000 euros o más, ¿no? 180 y pico mil dólares. El 1% no parece nada, pero estamos hablando de 14 millones de personas, un tercio de la población de España. 10% tiene pasaportes, son 140 millones. Y estos números van a ir incrementando, no van a ir descendiendo, ¿no? Es muy interesante. Uno de los mayores problemas que hay con el turismo chino es obtener información sobre el turismo chino. COTRI y COTMI, la nueva edición, es probablemente la mejor fuente de información para el turismo outbound, para el turismo emisor chino. Esa fuente de información la vamos a tener nosotros y estaremos encantados pues, de discutir más. Pero el profesor... Es una maravilla.
Total.
So the next person who will be speaking is Tang Lei. So Tang Lei, I think, will be talking about Vine Tree Hotels and your experience as designer and as founder. And also one thing that's very important is that Tang Lei is also very specialized in intercultural abilities, habilidades interculturales que son muy importantes. Tang Lei, please, when you are.
You are in mute.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Let me.
Okay, we can see
you
you.
hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
And you can see my...
Yeah, we can see your presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for the invitation to this really nice event. I have 8 minutes here, so I will have a very quick introduction of myself and go through my PPT fast. Hopefully it ends in 10 minutes. Okay, my name is Tang Lei, and I was studied in Vienna in 1999. And so my major was cross-cultural management, and then ended up in boutique hotel business because I really enjoyed doing this and meeting different people from all over the world. So right now I have 2 hotels in Kunming. This is one of it. This is a very old building, built in 1940s.
Sorry, Tang Lei. Yeah, we can hear you, but the presentation is not passing.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. Let me see. What can I do?
Okay, now we see the moon and chalice.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I play it, it's not. You cannot see it moving. So is it okay if I do it like this?
Yeah, we can. Yes, that's yes. Please do so like that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I have to do it like this. Okay. Okay. So this is the Moon and Chalice Hotel, located in downtown Kunming, the heart of Kunming. Very good location, and it has 35 rooms, and it was built in 1946 because in order to celebrate the victory of World War II. So it's a French style building. So I designed the whole places with a lot of furniture from France, and it's a very interesting shape. You can see a little bit similar with the Iron Building in New York, or and some similar building in Shanghai, if you have been Shanghai. So the building were almost torn down a long time ago, but we renovated it and turned it into a boutique hotel. Now it is one of the most famous boutique hotel in Kunming. Like people in China, all over China who ever came here would like to stay here, not only because of the location, because Chinese guests and Chinese tourists is starting interested in history and culture, not like before. So this is one of our luxury rooms. So, and this is we designed all of the room into 5 different kind of colors, which all these 5 colors normally represent some theme color of Kunming. So this is our suite, where it's on the corner of the very tiny corner of the whole place. So this hotel, we had a lot of guests after we opened, and we had a lot of European guests as well, not only Chinese guests, but it was influenced by the pandemic for sure. Since 2019, all of their business came back like really sudden this year in January. Like it just came back normal. And during holiday, like this May holiday, it's really busy. We had never been this busy. This Spring Festival and this May holiday, we had never been this busy since we opened. So business sometimes is even better than before. Okay, now I want to show you another project of me. It is this is the Tempted Resort Vine Tree, which I founded in 2009. It has been 12 years since we involved in this business, and in this brand, we have the most, like the top end tourists from all over China, from Shanghai, Beijing, Guangdong. These people are our target and guests, and they are, we can say they are our followers. Like every time we open a new place, they are with us. So can you see? I don't know if you can see this photo. It's one of our one of our Tempted resorts in Gaoli Gongshan, which is one of the most important gene bank for all of the world. It has all kinds of animals, plants, and the diversity of life is really amazing. So we have this place all of our tented resorts are built on treetops. So in order to avoid interrupting animals' track and like trying to lower our influence to the nature. So, and let me show you more photos. So far we have 3 completed projects, tent resort. One of them in Lijiang area. Lijiang is one of the most famous destination in China, tourism destination. So we're on a high plateau. This tent resort, we only have 3 rooms, but you have to book like 6 months ahead to get a room with us, and it was really expensive. Our room rate of this resort is 7,000 RMB. That's over $1,000 per night. But now we're moving this resort to another mountain near the border with Tibet. And the second one you can see we opened in 2017. It's a tent resort built in rice terrace. And the last one is the one I just show you. And we will see more photos later. So this is one on the high plateau, which is 3,600 meters high. Very, very high. And a lot of guests arrive here with helicopter. And because it takes too long to drive, so they prefer to fly here. We have about 730 staff. This is a map site of this one, so you can see the photos. So it's really beautiful. So we're very like eco-friendly hotel. So we invented the shelter pool, which is like full nature, like the natural golf pool. That's our activity here. So
We cannot hear you.
Tang Lei, your connection is, the sound is very bad. We can see, but the connection is very bad.
Okay. I don't know what to do, but
No, now
yeah.
it's a little bit better. Now it's better. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So we just finished seeing our first places, and this is our second tented resort located in the biggest rice terrace in the world. So here we have 1810. This is a map of the places. And this is where our tent resort is, you can see in the corner. And the rest of the places are all rice terraces by Han people in China. And this is one of our tented room resorts. This is inside of our tent. So the rate of this tented resort is about $600 per night. And we are very busy and fully booked for May holiday. And this one is the one you just seeing on the first picture, the treetops one, Gaoligong Mountain. So all the rooms are connected with their pathway. And these are our dining room, restaurant, bar, and another altogether 15 guest rooms. This is our bar. And this is the inside of the tent. And this is our restroom of the tent. And this is, we have a lot of like trekking and outdoor activities, adventure. Right now, the high-end market in China, because the richest people in China who have money and they are well educated, they have been abroad and they have been everywhere. They are really interested in adventure and nature than before, than the guest who is only searching for like normal experience. And this is our new project. We have a whole old village which is already abandoned and empty. So we are turning it into different guest house and hotels. it is also located in a rice terrace here.
Bonito.
Can you still see it?
Yeah.
Very, very
Okay.
nice.
So these are our old village project, which is attracted a lot of family guests, because when Chinese family traveling, they want to have a kitchen. Sometimes they want to cook themselves. They really don't want to go to a restaurant, because the key is everything. So when our guest houses here has kitchen in every building and has a living area, so people liked it a lot. So this is our Nujiang project I just mentioned, which is surrounded by snow mountain near the north to the very close to Tibet, like 50 kilometers from Tibet border. It's surrounded by snow mountain. And I'm going to go there on May 1st because the soft opening. That's why I can't meet Antonio there in Kunming. And we have very beautiful horses. This is our design. And the last one I'm going to tell you is our new project, where it's going to open this October this year. This is a French railway built 100 years ago, and it's a miracle on like railway engineering project in the world. So this we call Herringbone Bridge. Our tent resort is on the mountain right next to this bridge, and we will do a lot of trekking tours along the 100 years railway. So in our designing process, we have several other projects in Huangshan in China, which is one of the most famous mountain in Anhui province, and another project in Henan province, which is where the ancient artists used to hidden and live here. So that is all for my presentation. I want to finish it in time, so we have a quick look at all of our projects. So
Thanks.
Thank you very much, and I hope if you have any more questions about Chinese market and Chinese tourists, you can contact me anytime through Antonio.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tang Lei. That's really beautiful hotels. Es interesante ver cómo está hablando está relacionando clientes chinos con historia y cultura, aventura, naturaleza, que no es lo que nosotros estamos acostumbrados a oír, ¿no? Y para los que tengan dudas, pues $1.000 la noche, y muchos de ellos vienen en helicóptero. Entonces, si pagan 1.000 euros la noche, a ver, que paguen aquí también $1.000 la noche, pues indudablemente tienen mucho dinero y es muy importante que atraigamos este tipo de clientes, y están ahí.
Y que ya tienen una alternativa diferente, ¿no? O sea, empiezan a viajar otro tipo también de alojamientos y otro tipo de experiencias, y que eso también es interesante que lo tengamos en cuenta. Thank you so much.
Tang Lei, thank you very much. Can you stop sharing? And can I please ask Reno if you'd like to present to us?
Most certainly, yes, of course.
And we need to accelerate a little bit because we're going slowly. Okay. We don't see your presentation yet.
Hold on 1 second. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Nice picture,
So,
Reno.
hi. Hello. Hi. Good morning. Good morning, Madrid. Good morning, Asia. All right. So actually, good afternoon, Asia. It is my honor to be in here with all of you. Such a great audience. My name is Reno Lam. I'm an interior designer, the founder of and creative director of RKL Collective based in Hong Kong. And I specialize in hotel hospitality design and development, as well as residential and commercial projects. Since we don't have much time today, I will just cut it short. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I will be very happy to answer any questions later on during our Q&A session. So let's get it started. All right, so today I would like to talk about the luxury hotel elements in China. To start with the luxury hotel project, we must understand our end users. There are two types of travelers. One is business travel. The other one is leisure travel. Both can be combined, also depending on the hotel branding strategies. The design requirements for luxury hotel, both for leisure and business, can be very similar, but also there can be, a little bit different. So today I would like to point out just some components, like some key components that I think that are most important as an introduction today for our audience today. And so, but there are a lot more layers to it. So first, all right, let's talk about facilities. And the second ones I want to point
Sorry,
out.
Reno, your presentation is not passing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
still on the first page.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. All right.
I can't even see it.
Can't see
Can't
it.
see it?
Can you see it?
Now,
We only see the first one.
Do you only see the first one? All right.
Yeah.
See the second one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. All right. So let's see. All right. So let's see. All right. So that I'm gonna skip all that. So I would like to talk about luxury hotel elements in China. And so I just mentioned earlier, there are two types of business travels. One is the business travel and also leisure travel. And I just want to quickly point out there are four key elements that I think are quite important as an intro for today. The first one is facility, and the second one is bedrooms. And the third one is breakfast and technology. So let's,
Reno, it's still not passing.
okay.
It's a beautiful pool, but
Yeah, it's a beautiful pool, but we're,
Oh, right.
yeah.
All right, so let's see.
Reno, maybe you just want to continue talking and see if we can pass the pages.
Sure, yes, please.
But maybe, yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
No problem, sorry. And that, all right. So the third page, let's see, the one that all right, so let's see. We got 2 page facilities. Can we pull out the facilities? So for luxury hotels in China, on that screen showing that I have, these are the mandatory requirements facility to be considered. So the first one is reception lobby. Also the second one is a restaurant, the club lounge, fitness center, swimming pool, ballroom and function room, meeting center, parking spaces, spa and treatment center, and salon and kids place area. So that in the photo and reference on that, let me see. Can you guys see it or just
No,
the
No,
we are
it's not
still
going through, Reno.
in the second one.
second one? Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Why don't you keep it?
Yeah, now, yeah,
like
just
that?
keep it like this,
Yeah.
because now we can see, Reno.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
No. It's we have different systems. It's
No
one
problem.
of our.
Yeah. So just gonna quickly flip through. My apology. All right.
So you were doing the listing of the facilities. So I think that,
Listing
yeah,
of the
that, yeah.
facilities, correct. Yeah. So that these are the key components under facilities. When we look at a luxury hotel environment, the requirements for hotels that these are basically the mandatory areas that as a designer, we will start to focus in all these rooms. And so I also want to show you guys some imageries of some references that how we design the luxury hotels in China nowadays. These are ultra luxury levels of hotel in China. The one on the top left is Temple House Chengdu. And the one down below on the lower left corner is the Edition Shanghai. That is just showing the lounge, the club lounge facility for our luxury VIP guests. And the one down below in the middle with the oval ceiling is the Niccolo Chengdu, surrounded by a beautiful sculpture garden. This room is showing the function room. And the right corner, lower corner, is the Park Hyatt Shanghai. That is the reception area. And the top right corner, that is the Hilton Resorts, a golf resort that I have worked on for Hilton in Zhongshan. All right, let's jump into page 2, the bedrooms. So why is this so important that I want to point out the bedrooms in comparing to the European standard? I mean, these are maybe not, I see that the Asian sizes are very different. So when we program a luxury hotel, the bed height and the bed sizings are very critical for our guests. Asian size tend to be a little bit shorter. So when we have to come up with the strategy, okay, well, the guests, especially for ladies that have shorter figures, that they need to sit on the bed, let's say, then we don't want the bed to elevate too high. We want the bed to be just perfectly comfortable. And also when we also see a lot of single size bed in Europe, which is we don't use that in luxury environments in China. We use we use king size, and also we use double size bed. That is something we normally will use. And I also want to point out a few things. All right. And when we also designing a hotel, we want to be cohesive with the environment from the interior, from the outside perspective to the interior, which means that when we design a bedroom, the design of the bedroom needs to be completely cohesive with the outside, which is the public areas. And so that's important as a professional interior designer specializing in hotel hospitality. We don't want something that is very traditional in the interior and outside is completely modern and doesn't sync up together. And as for the aesthetic wise, okay, the aesthetic is just one point, but what's more important is the functionality of each bedrooms, that we want to make sure that all the equipments can blend into the interior seamlessly. So when we look at the luxury level, we don't want let's say we don't want the safe right in front of the entrance, or we want the safe to be completely worked around with the elevations of the entire room, so that all the equipments and the furniture pieces can be all just locked in together. And it's part of the functionality. I think when we design a hotel, we work with so many operators and trying to come up with different ideas, because each hotel brands have different concepts, and how we can reinvent something new to the audience. And I think that's important for the Chinese customer, because when we talk about VIP luxury hotels, they've been around the world. They've been to all the most expensive hotels. They have all the most expensive meals and wines. So what they will really look at is something that's completely a little bit more refreshing every time, so that they can compare apple to apple. And that's what I find it quite true and also interesting. And also, when we program a design of a room, we want to make sure each room is 100% safe, meaning the safety is #1 priority for our hotel design. Part of the requirements, we don't want any sharp corners, we don't want any slipperies, and we don't want our guests to get injured to begin with. There's almost 0% that we want our guests to have any injury. We want them to stay in the room comfortably and just have a wonderful time and very safe. So,
Reno, can I ask you? Sorry, can I ask you
yes,
to?
please go ahead.
Yeah, because we're running short on time.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. Sorry. Let's continue. Yeah, thank you.
Let's sure. All right, so that's bedroom, and also the luxury rooms. Okay, these are the suites. So we have the comfortable room suite, 32 square meter, and that's what the standardized. I would say there's the deluxe. The difference between the European standard. We're talking about slightly larger rooms, about 32 square meter to 45 square meter. So as for suite, we're talking about like 50 square meter to 200 square meters. All right. So what about food? The third one is breakfast. So the food quality for luxury hotel is extremely important. Our guests want to start with a good meal. Every day, delicious meal is also we're talking about the presentation for luxury hotel. As you can see on the right corner of the two photos, the top one is Park Hyatt Guangzhou. The lower one is Marco Polo Chengzhou. You see the presentation level. We have almost all kinds of cuisines, but one thing that we found for the Chinese culture, hot food is a must. Regardless of congee, noodles, they want something hot in the morning to fill themselves up. And also, we like to have buffet counters, a lot of show display counters, and mostly luxury hotels environments in China. So when we work around with F&B director, it usually takes a long time for them to come up with the perfect menu because it has to be very calculated, and they're so meticulous into every little details. And the third one, and the fourth one, the last one, which is important for luxury hotels, is almost a mandatory requirement, is the digitalization for nowadays luxury hotels. We need to have a very strong signal, and also it needs to incorporate with the latest technology. Let's say for payments and also for check-in and so on and so on. So that's it for today. Gracias, everyone.
Thank you very much, Reno. Sorry to make you go very quickly, but very important. Cuando entre un cliente chino en vuestra habitación, ¿qué va a decir? Uy, qué cama tan grande o qué cama tan pequeña, ¿no? Esos 32 metros cuadrados a 45 para una habitación, ¿cómo le van a parecer a un chino? Y las habitaciones son más pequeñas, ¿qué podemos hacer para que se sientan más a gusto? Está claro que cada sitio, el espacio está limitado, ¿no? Pero esto es una cosa muy importante. Entonces, desde el diseño, es importante ver también cómo cambia todo esto.
Y las facilities que tienes en tu hotel, que si existen algunas de estas que son obligatorias, que si no existen, ver la opción de cómo podéis hacerlo. Es una construcción muy pesada, ¿no?
Perfecto. So I'd like to invite now Thomas Salg, the president of Wharf Hotels, though we've already seen some of your hotels in Reno's presentation. Which is excellent. So, Reno, can you stop sharing, please? Thank you. And Thomas, if you'd like to share with us, thank you very much.
Good. Can you see it?
We can hear, we can see you for the moment.
I don't know if that's the same problem.
No. Well, Thomas is connecting from
Thomas está conectando desde
9:30.
I try to share again. Now it's good?
No.
Wait, something happening.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
¿Cuántas veces utilizáis Teams y cuando lo utilizáis, fenomenal? Y cuando toca hacer la presentación,
no va bien, claro. Las cosas pasan. We have your presentation.
Otherwise, we have your presentation. We can present, but you just need to tell us if you want to go forward.
Okay, we're going to do that really, really quick. So yes, go ahead and share if I can see it. First of all, good morning from rainy Hong Kong. Thank you very much, Reno, for using some of our hotels. The professor explained the importance of outbound tourism. That is huge business. And then Tang Lei explained that customers looking for experiences is much, much more. And what you could see in Reno's pictures is the quality and the class which our travelers are used to. So what I'm going to show you today is a bit of our hotels and to explain to you what Chinese luxury travelers are experiencing. What do they know already? And then therefore, what do they look for when they visit your countries? Now, Antonio, is it shared? Because I can't see it.
No, we're.
Let me just 2 seconds.
Bear with us. Sorry. Okay, we're on the first page, Thomas. Can you see the presentation?
Yeah, I think
Yes,
so.
I can see the presentation, and you can straight go to slide 3. The next slide is just simply the agenda. Okay. I don't want to go through this. I just want to say since 1980, we are in the hotel business, mainly here in Asia. But in 2015, we opened our first Niccolo hotel, and Reno kind of showed a few of these slides. And what we tried to create with the Niccolo hotels was a very competitive product to show to address the Chinese young travelers who are really, really eager for a luxury staying experience. So we can flip the next couple of slides. We can flip.
Yeah, it's taking a little while. It's thinking.
It's thinking.
It is thinking.
Yeah.
So maybe I keep talking. You will see it, and we can go through it. So you see on these hotels, they're all retail inspired. We wanted to keep a certain sophistication, which we learned from dealing with high-end luxury retailers, which are all over China. You can continue. And mainly we looked at the art and design and how do we have given experience in dining. So it's not just the food, it's the services, the entire environment around to attract the customers, a younger generation. The professor talked about the 55 plus. We are actually looking for customers who are more in their 30s and 40s, double income, but they really want to spoil themselves. We can flip 2 more slides. We see our hotels as a stage, as the epicenter of events. So when we do events, when we do weddings, our focus is to really create an event, not just to serve food. Keep going. The next one will show the contemporary chic. You see the spaces are all very simple, but we keep it vibrant in colors, where young people really love to be in that space. And selfies is the biggest thing in China. Everybody wants to show what they experienced and shared with the world. Now, on the next slide, it's a summary of what the DNA is. I will not read it, but it is all about giving people that feeling of being a captain of industry and a leader in style. And that's the type of customers we're looking to attract. Next slide. So when we started to create that brand, we looked at what are the influencers in China. And obviously, there's a lot of people on social media. Social media is a big opinion maker. There is definitely a fashion trend. Chinese customers today know exactly what are the trends worldwide. They are business leaders. You see a lot of Chinese companies who hit the stock markets and become Fortune 500 companies, entrepreneurs, and creative pioneers. You see incredible architecture and interior design all over China. Next slide. And that brought our product down to 4 pillars we're focusing on. So the contemporary chic part, we look at art and design to create our spaces. We're very influenced by fashion. And then we created our service culture, which we call Be Niccolo. And that is just to anticipate every customer's needs. On the next slide, you will see the positioning. To the right upper corner, you see very famous but very traditional brands. Ritz-Carlton's, Four Seasons, Park Hyatt's. They are the best of the best, with no doubt. But we didn't want to be in that traditional field. We wanted to go much more over in an area of lifestyle. And in that area, we proudly can tell you that we're dominating that. We're beating our competitors hands down. There's actually no question. So if we go to the next slide, you see the 5 Niccolo hotels we opened over the last couple of years. And these are unique buildings. They're either towers, which are up to 115 floors, or they are old historical buildings, which we have converted. The next 3 or 4 slides, they will remind you on what you've seen from Reno. That is a meeting room, which we call the conservatory, just freestanding in a garden, or it is a pool, which is on the 115th floor. And while you swim, you can oversee the entire city. One of the next slide, please. One of the iconic arts is we kept the Beijing girl. At one point, we found a Beijing artist who painted that little lady there. And if you Google Nicola Hotels, you will find millions of selfies with that lady next to it, which helps that young generation to say, okay, that's where we've been, and that's how China evolved now. We continue the next 2 slides, please. That's just a bathroom. It's just all about to show it's a simplicity, but it has that retail approach like you would find in a luxury store, and that's the atmosphere we wanted to recapture. The next slide shows a bit when we planning a hotel, what are we looking for? We don't build these huge hotels, usually 150 to 300 keys. We look for the right location. And we keep the facilities fairly simple because the main attraction in our hotels will be the customer himself. Now, the next slide is all about food and beverage. People, yeah, the camera eats first, definitely in China. You can serve the nicest meal. Everybody will just pick up the phone and take a picture first. But to continue the story there, the next slide will show you that we do a lot of partnering with other famous retailers or brands in Asia. So a high tea together with Wendy or with Lane Crawford or TWAC, that's how people feel they can experience these brands in collaboration with our Nicola Hotels. We go to the next slides. The next slides are just show that we go a bit beyond a regular event. So when a customer comes, we work together, for example, with Dior. It's not just that we have the event, we really decorate. We really go all out with music, with light, with smell, with feel, to give that customer that feeling, I didn't just go to a banquet, I went to a Dior event or the Bears. The next 2 slides will show you events we did together with Lamborghini, for example, there, and to the right, Mercedes, or even Rolls-Royce. And when you do these events and you create that atmosphere, you get these partnerships that after a while, any luxury brand tends to contact us right away to say, okay, we want to launch something new. We want to do it with you. The next slide shows you my Chinese colleagues will know that social media website. It's called The Little Red Book. And these pictures are all pictures from our customers. So these are not pictures we took. We didn't spend all that money to take these pictures, but the brand inspires people to take pictures, to put themselves in that scene. And it perfectly represents the brand we always wanted to create. Now, the next slide. I wanted to show you, like, these are all the brands. If you go to a Chinese upscale shopping mall, you will find all these brands. So Chinese customers are fully aware of what is the luxury today, and they love to buy it. And that's one of the reasons why they come to Hong Kong, because they want to buy the real thing. They really want to make sure they're spending a lot of money, but they get the real deal. And a lot of that traveling is to Paris, is to Europe. And at one point, it will also be to Spain. Continue, please. So these are typical Chinese shopping malls, and you will see they loaded with all these brands, and people really want top-notch luxury. So they're used to it. They know what it is. They know quality, and they know the lifestyle they desire to have. The next slide, I picked 5 topics what I would think this is what Chinese luxury travelers looking for. Health is wealth. Now there is a real importance of eating fresh, organic, healthy food. So green is the new gold. Also, we talked about it, Reno talked about it, 24 hours connectivity. To be digital is just they're a digital generation. They're way advanced as we are in Europe or in the United States. They love to see art, museums, lifestyle, any unique discoveries. And I'm glad that it was all mentioned from my colleagues in their presentations. Another side thing we see, family life is the new luxury too. We see now customers who can afford it to take their kids along. But what they're looking for, they want to have respect. and they want to be acknowledged. So don't ever think that Chinese tourists are cheap, that they're not educated, or that they are very, very simple. Quite the opposite. They know exactly what they want. They know exactly what they have at home in China. Continue, please. Now, if you look at this is a customer satisfaction program. It's called Review Pro. And what it did in the end of 2022, it compared the Nicolo brand against our main competitors. And in most of the markets where we have hotels, we compete against Mandarin Oriental, Four Seasons, Grand Hyatt, JW, and Ritz-Carlton. And you can see on the ratio, we beat them by 7% points. And that is, in the luxury world of hotels, a very, very healthy margin to set ourselves apart in the eyes or in the evaluation of our customers. That's quite big, and we're super proud of that. So continue. We are part of Discovery, and the next slide will show you, and I wanted to put that on. Yeah. Next. These are our Discovery members, and we work in very close with NH hotels, which are very, very well known, especially in Spain. And NH brings 2.7 million active members to the program. So Nicolo hotels and NH hotels in Spain are very well known, and there are great opportunities to bring Spain into the Chinese market. Now we can continue the next slides on the Discovery. That is fairly simple. It's the biggest reward program of independent hotel chains, and that's how it comes that Marco Polo, Nicolo, NH, Kempinski, and all these companies can join together. We have our reward systems, which gets us toe-in-toe with all the big companies. And our focus is always how to discover local life, because we know our customers, they want to see more. When they're in Spain, they want to experience Spain. And when they're in Paris, they want to experience Paris. So home away from home, they're definitely not looking for that. They're really looking for something different than what they have at home. They want to experience something. They want to enjoy something, but their standards is fairly high. And that's my last slide now. And like any other hotel company, we have several departments, how we continuously look at our experience and how we try to adjust our operating models to be always adaptable to the change of generations. And I completely agree with the doctor. 2024 will be a tremendous year for outbound Chinese tourism. They are hungry to travel, and we can't wait till they come to our hotels.
Phenomenal, Thomas. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much, Thomas. And I'll see you in 2024 here to open the Nicolo Madrid, yes?
Yeah, hopefully.
So we're looking forward to that. La verdad es que Nicolo es una marca que es ver esos edificios suyos, los construyen, o sea, es una auténtica pasada. If it's okay, as we're running a little bit short on time, I'm just going to be 5 minutes, but I'd like to talk in Spanish, if that's okay with you. ¿Tienes mi presentación? Sí. Espero que hayamos conseguido ese objetivo de visualizar y de poner ya fotos, imágenes de lo que es la hostelería china y sobre todo de lo que es el nivelazo que tienen en turismo de lujo. No me cabe duda que Madrid, España, es el sitio para capturar estos clientes. Pero hay un par de diapositivas muy rápidamente que vamos a ver si podemos encontrar esta presentación.
Sí, estaba así, ¿no?, en el correo.
Me parece que era Thomas que hablaba, el profesor, que hablaba de los 700.000 turistas chinos que vinieron en el 2019, que fue el mejor año para el turismo español con los chinos. Aún así, era el 0,8% de todos los turistas que entraron en España, cuando en Francia representaron el más del 2%. Entonces, Francia nos lleva bastante ventaja.
¿Quieres que la comparta con ellos?
Sí.
Sí, lo importante de ese tipo de datos siempre es la capacidad de crecimiento que tenemos sobre ellos, ¿no? Que es, y hay mucho, porque 700.000 ante estos datos que estamos teniendo no.
Luego, estos turistas chinos lo que hacen es la desestacionalización, obviamente, porque ellos vienen en periodos tienen vacaciones cuando nosotros no tenemos generalmente vacaciones, Año Nuevo Chino, mayo, octubre. Y sobre todo es un cliente de lujo que gasta muchísimo dinero en upselling, en experiencias. Entonces, el dinero que se puede conseguir es muy alto. Cuando yo era director general en China, todas las empresas tienen programas de upselling. Un mínimo de 5% del revenue de alojamiento lo elevábamos a través de experiencias de upselling. O sea, teníamos un 5% más sobre ese revenue. Iré muy rápidamente, pero este número ya lo conocemos. El turismo de larga distancia, los chinos son los que se quedan, los que gastan más, casi se quedan más tiempo, más que los surcoreanos, que se habla mucho de los surcoreanos, que también está creciendo muchísimo. Japón, Emiratos Árabes, que tú pensarías que Dubái gastan más, ¿no? Pero no es el caso, incluso de Canadá. Esto es lo que decía el profesor. ¿Cuáles son las expectativas? Pues para el año 2023, que es 110 millones de turistas globales chinos, 224, ya 170 millones de turistas chinos, y para el año 2030 estabilizado a cerca de los 230 millones. Estos son turistas chinos en general, no son los turistas de lujo. Lo que sí es importante también es tener en cuenta que el segmento de lujo en China va a crecer más que en cualquier otro sitio del mundo. Esto es una previsión de crecimiento del gasto en bienes personales de lujo y entre 2021 y 2025, mientras que China crecerá un 4 puntos porcentuales, perdón. El resto de Asia será 3%, pero si miráis América, Estados Unidos básicamente y Europa, vamos a retroceder en ese mercado de lujo. Esto es una cosa que es muy importante que veamos. Se habla mucho del mercado chino de lujo. Hay una encuesta que se llama Hurun Report, Hurun, que es como el Forbes 500 de China. Y este reporte cada año le pregunta a high net worth individuals, a este 1% que decía el profesor, ¿qué destino de lujo vais a querer elegir? ¿Alguien ve la bandera de España?
No yet.
Not yet, not yet. Eso es un problema que tenemos nosotros. Somos muy simpáticos, caemos muy bien, pero aún no estamos en la mente como turismo de lujo. Turismo regular, digamos. Sí estamos, pero lo que es el turismo de lujo y lo que es peor es que tenéis ahí a Francia, tenemos a Italia, tenemos al Reino Unido, que a pesar del Brexit y todos los problemas que causan con Hong Kong, siguen estando ahí. Entonces nosotros realmente tenemos que posicionar. Pero os digo una cosa, Madrid representa un buque insignia fantástico para posicionar el lujo en España. Esto es otra cosa que quería enseñaros. La comida española es muy, muy conocida, pero tenéis que ir abajo para verla. ¿La veis? Estos son preferencias de comida. Y la comida española es la quinta, empezando por abajo, y menos popular que la comida mexicana. No es tan conocida, pero también es una oportunidad fantástica. Los que estáis aquí, alguno de vosotros tiene restaurantes Michelin en vuestro hotel. Pues este es el momento de decirle al cliente chino, oye, que sepas que la comida que tenemos, fenomenal, venga a probarla. La gastronomía es el segundo punto más importante para los chinos cuando están eligiendo o haciendo un viaje después de las compras. Esto es los top 10 hobbies de los high net worth individuals chinos. ¿Por qué lo pongo? Porque es importante que veáis, por ejemplo, camping. El viajar con un camper van, con una caravana, con una caravana. Cada vez este tipo de actividades se están llevando muchísimo más. Entonces, ese concepto que tenemos del hotel, del turista chino detrás de una banderita roja, va en grupo, se acabó. Y la pandemia ha acelerado todo este proceso. Ya en China los procesos son rápidos. Como decía el profesor, las cosas suceden lento en China hasta que suceden, entonces son más rápidas que en cualquier otro sitio. La pandemia ha acelerado la sofisticación del mercado chino. Por último, pues un poquito, ¿quién soy yo, ¿no? Integrado dentro de SIE Academy, ¿quién soy? Yo llevaba 9 años trabajando en China, soy el primer director general español en haber abierto un hotel de marca y gerencia china, que era un Wanda. ¿Os acordáis del problema de que hubo con Wanda aquí en la Plaza de España? Yo abrí el Wanda Vista Xishuangbanna, que es ese hotel que está ahí al fondo, que está localizado pues, en la frontera con Laos y Vietnam. Un hotel que cuando era la época de Año Nuevo, pues cobrábamos 800, 900, 1.000 euros la noche. O sea, ese concepto que también tenemos que a lo mejor que los chinos son baratos, no, es muy caro. Tuve el privilegio, como director general, el propietario de los hoteles se mete muchísimo en la gestión de los hoteles. Antes que director general soy un negociador. Porque, ¿qué pasa? Estas dos personas que veis, el uno es Wang Jilin, que lo conocéis todos pues, por Wanda. Es uno de los hombres más ricos del mundo. En su época, cuando yo trabajé para él y abrí el Wanda en 2015, era el hombre más rico de China. Su hijo, famosamente, le compró a su pastor alemán 2 Apple Watch de oro macizo, y después lo puso en social media, que fue un fallo muy grande. Venía a mi hotel, trajo delegaciones de empresarios. Entonces, ¿por qué puedo hablar de esto? Porque es que estaba con él, estaba hablando con él, sé lo que es el lujo chino, sé lo que desea esta gente. La segunda persona es el señor He. Yo no sé si os suenan los electrodomésticos Midea, Midea. Si no suenan ahora, en un año no os preocupéis que os sonarán. Es una de las mayores empresas de electrodomésticos del mundo. Es top 10 fortunas de China. Y para él abrí el Marriott Schunde en Foshan, en Guangdong. Esto era su primer hotel, ¿no? Entonces, un poquito para que vean quién son. Aparte de ser el primer director general en abrir un hotel chino, también fue unos pocos españoles en ser corporativo para una empresa hotelera en Hong Kong. Una pequeña introducción y voy muy rápido, disculpad, porque vamos un poquito tarde. Me gustaría daros las gracias por estar aquí. Estamos disponibles para ustedes por mi parte. Simplemente voy a cerrar y después le paso la palabra para cerrar a Ana. No sé si aún están ellos.
Sí.
I want to thank you very, very much. We're going badly on time, but I want to thank you very much. I think this was a great glimpse into what China is offering. What is China hospitality? And it's great to count on your expertise and to know a little bit more of your areas. I'm really counting on having more of these webinars, and I hope that one day you can all come to Spain, visit the luxury market, and help us out to grow in the Chinese luxury market in Spain. So thank you very much for all of you. And now, Ana.
We wait for you to have this kind of food that we need to recognize for sure.
There we go.
Thank you so much. It was very, very interesting, your information.
Thank
We'll
you.
wait for you. Thank you.
Venga, muchísimas gracias.
Bye.
Adiós.
Bye-bye.
Adiós.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Adios.